Can James Ward-Prowse save West Ham's season? Can James Ward-Prowse be the saviour West Ham need for the remainder of the season? I think so because, and I should just say, I'm a massive James Ward-Prowse fan. I love James Ward-Prowse. I have since all of the years he was in Southampton. I was a massive James Ward-Prowse fan. He was always one of my favourite players that played for a team that wasn't my team. I really like James Ward-Prowse. He's one of my favourite types of players. I love players that can pass the ball as well as he can, who can cross as well as he can, who have free kick deliveries, set piece takers as good as he. I think he's amazing. I think he's almost become a bit of a luxury player lately because he was doing so well at Southampton, moved to West Ham. It didn't quite work for him at West Ham. Went to Nottingham Forest on loan, definitely didn't work there. And I think the problem with James Ward-Prowse, for why it's not worked out at Nottingham Forest specifically, is he needs a free role, okay? He needs a free role to play. He's almost like a number 10 player at the bigger clubs. He doesn't play it there. He kind of plays behind the two central midfielders or around the two central midfielders, but he needs a free role in the same way Cole Palmer does at Chelsea, where he can play as a number 10 and gets a free role, and then he has two. That's usually how a player in a kind of modern day formation plays with a free role, usually as a number 10 with two players behind him. So let's use the Cole Palmer example. Cole Palmer plays as a bit of a free role. He can do whatever he wants. And then he's got Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo behind him as the more responsible central midfielders. Now, the problem with James Ward-Prowse recently is he's been playing in midfield twos. Like Nottingham Forest play two midfielders in the centre. Usually someone like Ryan Yates and Gibbs White or Elliot Anderson, and then they play a number 10 figure. But they were playing, whenever Ward-Prowse made sort of cameos for Nottingham Forest, he was playing as a 2. And I think he's kind of done that in the past for West Ham recently, where it didn't work out with previous spells, and it probably didn't work out at the beginning. But in this formation, with two central midfielders like Souček and Alvarez that were playing for West Ham against Arsenal, when they play 3 at the back, it allows James Ward-Prowse to be a free player again. And while he's not going up front being a number 10 and playing as a free player, kind of drifting around the wings, he is now being, or he was against Arsenal, being able to be a free role player deeper. I think some people like to call it a quarterback role, that kind of deeper lying playmaker who can spread passes around, and it's really effective. I thought he was amazing against Arsenal. It was his first start for West Ham since coming back. He came off the bench the week before, and this is my James Ward-Prowse rose-tinted glasses, but I do think surely West Ham stick with this formation, 3 at the back, wing backs, Bowen and Kudus up front, 2 kind of responsible midfielders like Souček and Alvarez, and then let James Ward-Prowse just roam around. He's even worth it just for his corner taking. We've seen this season how effective Arsenal have been from corners, and it's really down to sort of them being able to take a good corner, having good corner takers like Rice, Odegaard, players that can cross the ball well, but also kind of having big sort of target men and like coming up with good set piece takers. So West Ham have got a good set piece taker in James Ward-Prowse. He's a good free kick taker. He can give you a couple of goals every season just from free kicks. He can give you a couple of goals from his corner taking delivery, and just his passing, his recycling of possession, the way he keeps the ball. He can't really tackle as well as other players. He's not as strong as other players. That's why he's a little bit of a luxury player, which is why he's not quite worked recently in like the last year or so, because teams like Forest have wanted him to kind of be a creative player but also have this discipline. I don't think that's the way to go forward. I think if West Ham embrace him as a luxury free role player and don't expect him to win tackles, don't expect him to hold the midfield together, but just allow him to roam around, it could be decisive. And James Ward-Prowse could rejuvenate this West Ham team.